Oh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. Welcome back to more WWE vs. TEW, the weekly series where we take the events and shows that the WWE books, run them in the game to see just how well the WWE does, or if TEW will be the company that brings the WWE down to its knees. Today we are booking Monday Night Raw, what is this, July? No, not July. We're in the new month now. That's right. The August 6th edition of Monday Night Raw. Still a week behind. And this week, hopefully, my hope is that we'll be seeing a lot of videos going up so we can catch up to WWE and be on time for SummerSlam. That's my hope. I'm not going to make any promises, but that's the hope right now. I did not realize that SummerSlam was this Sunday. Wow, that snuck up on me. But that's the hope, so that's what we're going to try to do. So I'm sorry in advance for rapid fire videos. I know that might be a little bit of an overhaul, and it might take you guys a little bit of catching up to do, but I don't know. Also, you guys may or may not hear, I've got it kind of low in the background. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a test run, so you know what, let's turn it up a little bit. Let's do 26. Hopefully that's not too loud. That's my worry. I don't want to be too loud. I'd rather it be too low than too loud. But I've got some music running in the background. There are times where, I feel like this can get a little quiet because I may not talk because I'm thinking or something. I feel like the music can just be a little nice addition to the video. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But if you guys aren't down for it, let me know. And if you guys want maybe a different genre of music too, I can maybe look something like that up. Right now I just got something I listen to on my own free time, really playing in the background, but I could do like wrestling themes, but my worry there is that I'd be copyrighted or something. So anyway, whatever. Rambling on here. Let's just jump right in, shall we? Monday Night Raw. Remind you, tonight's the debut of Ronda Rousey. First time ever on Monday Night Raw, I should say. Not the debut. She's been here a while, but first time she's going to have a match, I should say, on Monday Night Raw. Nonetheless, whatever. 75 B- rating. Recap from Raw's last week as pretty much just showing off the whole Brock Lesnar situation between Kurt Angle having Heyman telling him to get him out here, and then, Kurt having Roman Reigns, taken out of the arena. Heyman trying to get Brock out, but Brock not doing it. And then he finally comes out. He beats up Kurt. He intimidates Corbin. Beats up, or maybe not beat up, but hurts Paul Heyman. Stuff like that. 75 B- for the cold open. 70 C+ for our opening segment of the night as Kurt Angle and the Constable, Baron Corbin, are in the ring. They come down to the ring, I should say. Kurt, he begins to just kind of talk about what happened last week. He starts calling, I think he called Brock Lesnar pathetic or something around that point, where he was really just talking down to Brock Lesnar, how everybody he's proud of in the locker room except for Brock Lesnar, pretty much, stuff like that. Corbin's trying to warn him, but Kurt's like, nah, this needs to be said. Eventually Roman Reigns comes down. Roman kind of pokes fun at Corbin, talking about how you really didn't do anything. You backed down from Brock. Corbin tries to, turn it around into his favor, saying like, I was doing the smart thing there and getting out, whatever. I forget exactly what Corbin said, but he's trying to turn it around into his favor. I think he was talking about how he was in a grueling match or something, but whatever. Kurt Angle says that, even though he's the guy that just makes the matches, like Corbin says, because Stephanie apparently is the one in charge. Angle says since he just makes the matches, he sees a match right here, and he goes ahead and makes a match between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns to start off the night. It's got the crowd hotter, advance some storylines, and that's that. Come on. I pressed the button. I was going to say, don't do it to me again. 69 C+ rating and about that had good heat and decent wrestling to it. Roman Reigns goes over the Constable, Baron Corbin, in 12 minutes 48 seconds with a spear. After a distraction from Finn Balor, Corbin trying to, walk out, get the count, or give Roman the count out victory. He doesn't want any of this. He doesn't have time for this. But Finn Balor, the man he's been feuding with for a while here, comes down to the ring and he kind of backs Corbin up, which leads to honestly, this was actually a pretty impressive visual here as well. I kind of wish I would have paused it just to like maybe take a snippet of it or something, because it was actually a pretty cool looking picture if you paused it at that moment of when Roman Reigns jumped off the steel steps to hit the Superman punch. It looked really badass. It looked like one of those pictures you would see like in the WWE magazines. But anyway, he hits the Superman punch. He tosses Corbin in the ring. I'm not exactly sure if he hit him with the spear. He probably did, knowing Roman Reigns. And Reigns picks up the victory, heading into his Universal Championship match a week away. Is that what it is? Maybe it's a couple weeks away still. I don't know. Nonetheless, we already know about the Graves-Coachman chemistry. Got the crowd hotter. Corbin with an in-ring performance of a 55. Roman Reigns with a 65. And Constable Baron Corbin is improving in his performance skill. Good stuff. 58 C- is afterwards. Roman Reigns. Here's the one thing that was kind of cheesy here that I wish Roman would not do, but I guess do you, Roman. It's the fact that he kind of was like, hey, I'm buddy with Finn. Like he was all like, hey, thanks for the assistance, brah. Like it was like Roman. In my opinion, Roman's that guy that's like, I'm here to do business. I don't give a damn. If you help me, that's cool. If you don't, I didn't need your help. Not that he would look at Finn and be like, oh, thanks for doing business, brah, and then afterwards be like, huh, I don't care. Do your thing. I feel like he wouldn't do the whole added like, whatever. I mean, I guess this is maybe him having fun, so I probably shouldn't judge all that much. But the fact, I don't know. Roman, to me, is just kind of the cold, maybe not cold. I don't know the exact word I'm looking for, but I feel more like a mercenary is what would be the best way I can describe it. Is he doesn't talk much. He doesn't really have much friends, and the friends he does have, he's close with, like Seth Rollins. Like later on tonight when we have an angle between him and Rollins, that's perfect Roman Reigns. This here, the whole buddy with Finn, it just didn't make sense to me. Nonetheless, afterwards, Roman Reigns exits the ring, encourages Finn to pretty much go after the Constable, which he does. He hits the coup de grace, and don't diss me for my spelling if it's wrong. I sounded it out and everything, so I'm hoping that's right. Onto Baron Corbin to pretty much end the segment. 58 C-, losing heat for the feud, unfortunately. I agree, though. 47 solid D as we see Ronda Rousey just talking backstage with Natty as we hype up her first match ever on Monday Night Raw with Alicia Fox. Natty getting better at her gimmick. 44 solid D as we see Bobby Roode put on his robe as he's getting ready for his match with Mojo Rawley, which is next. 59 C- before we get to that match with Mojo Rawley, we get a recap of the beatdown from last week between Rollins and McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Of course, the first match being between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which led to Dolph getting involved in it being a DQ. Seth getting the upper hand and, taking out both Ziggler and McIntyre, which they didn't appreciate, which is why they attacked them backstage later on. So just a little bit of a recap of what happened then. 59 solid C. 66 C+ rating as Seth Rollins. Good lord, that thunder is crazy. I don't know if you guys hear it, but it was like shaking my window, it sounded like. Nonetheless, backstage, Seth Rollins approaches Kurt Angle, and he doesn't know what he's got to do, but he wants to take care of Dolph and Drew. He doesn't care what he's got to do. He wants to do it tonight. Kurt just tells him to find a partner, so we've got that going on. Seth's going to find him a partner to take on the duo of Dolph and Drew. 52 D+ rating as we get a recap of the Bobby Roode Mojo Rawley backstage brawl last week when Mojo kind of confronted all those superstars backstage, and then Roode confronted him saying, we got a problem. A little bit of a brawl there. Mike Kanellis recorded it, if you remember. And then we jump into the matchup here. Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley, 55 C-. Not too bad of a match. Could have been better, but honestly, Mojo's been impressing me, so, there you go. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not my booking. About that had decent wrestling. Not much weighing heat, though. Bobby Roode does indeed go over Mojo Rawley in 8 minutes, 4 seconds with a glorious DDT. Match itself was decent. I wouldn't say it was anything special. But, nonetheless, it was okay. Mojo is starting to impress me, not only in the game, but in the WWE as well. Bobby Roode, maybe being mishandled a bit here, but I don't think he should have been shuffled over to Raw anyway. He's definitely been lost in the shuffle here, we should say. Bobby Roode with an in-ring performance of a 55. Mojo Rawley with a 41. Advancing the feud here as well. Roode is improving in performance. Good stuff all around. 62, solid C, as we see Elias backstage with some film crew. That's what we would call him, film crew. As he is live and next. Solid 62C there. Then we go up to Elias, which is next. 68C plus rating. Elias has his film crew down in the ring with him. He's filming his own documentary because he really wasn't happy with the documentary on the WWE Network. I have yet to watch it myself. I really got to check it out. But apparently he's not happy with it because it painted him like he was egotistical and whatnot. And he's filming his own documentary to show the true side of Elias. He's trying to sing, but, you know, he's coming up with ideas along the way, telling the film crew to circle around him, get close-ups on his fingers as he's playing, and maybe use CGI to edit out the fans and make them more attractive fans. He's not really happy about being here in Jacksonville. And by the way, I'm gonna have to call the Who out on this one, because I had the arena problem right now. I normally wouldn't care about the arenas because I just usually let an auto venue do its thing. But I've been trying to stay as accurate as I possibly can with this WWE thing, including using the arenas, despite even if they can't draw them out, because I figure that's how WWE's doing it right now. But a lot of the times recently, I've had to like Google the arenas and find out previous names of the arenas to pick the correct arenas. I know, dedicated. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, all right, it's justifiable. That was maybe changed back in 2010 or whatever. I can imagine, you know, these mod creators are just copying and pasting previous arenas from the past. And, you know, maybe they're not even from my country, you know, of America. They could be from, like, Canada or England or Australia, or, you know, wherever else Total Extreme Wrestling is popular. But the Memorial Arena, or whatever it's called in real life right now, the Memorial Arena is not what this arena is called anymore. Has not been called the Memorial Arena since like 2003. I don't think there was a Total Extreme Wrestling 2003. I know EWR was around then, but I don't even know, or I don't know if EWR was around then, but I know it was around before TEW. I don't know if it was around in 2003, but what the heck? Why is like a 2003 or whatever name being used in 2018? Like, so maybe I'm nitpicking here, but I'm just like, come on, what is this? What? How did you get that? I don't understand. I'm confused. Nonetheless, Elias during this whole thing, he's kind of dragging Bobby Lashley's name through the mud again, calls him out for not remembering the names of Rockin' Robin, which I remembered. He doesn't remember the lyrics of Rockin' Robin, but I remember the name of it this time, so look at me go. He calls him slow or something. Lashley eventually does come out. He's not happy with Elias bringing his name into his, you know, keeping his, golly, me doing the whole arena thing threw off my groove. I threw off my groove. Anyway, Lashley's not happy with Elias keep dropping his name. And Elias calls Bobby Lashley's return a joke, which in return, Lashley calls Elias a joke in general. Elias can see that Bobby is a little heated here, so he tries to get him and the camera crew out of there, but he instead decides to throw a clipboard at Bobby Lashley, distracting the man, attacking him, but this backfires because Bobby Lashley decides to beat down on Elias and get the camera crew in there as well to get a close-up of him. I believe hitting the Dominator. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was, but I believe it was the Dominator onto Elias here. So, gain some heat for the Lashley-Elias feud. 75 B- as we hype up that we will have an exclusive interview with Paul Heyman later on tonight. 56 C- as we see Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre getting ready for their tag team match with with Seth Rollins later on tonight. 47 solid D as we hype up Ronda Rousey's first match on Monday Night Raw, as she will take on Alicia Fox. 62, solid C is Seth Rollins getting ready backstage when Tyler Breeze comes into the picture. And he mentions that Seth Rollins needs a partner. Well, Tyler Breeze is here, and he's ready to join the team pretty much. He puts his fist out, kind of, doing the whole shield bit. That's when Roman Reigns enters the picture, and he's kind of like, are you serious? And Rollins is like, everyone wants to join the team. And Reigns is like, nah, forget that. I've got your back tonight. And Rollins is like, all right, that's that. And Tyler Breeze just kind of stands there looking stupid. And this is what I was kind of talking about earlier with, Roman Reigns and Finn Balor being buddy-buddy. Doesn't really make sense. It feels like it just breaks Roman's character. Whereas in here, he doesn't have to be like, hey, what's up, brah? Like, hey, how you doing, man? It's more of, I got your back. Don't worry about it. Straight to the point. That's how I envisioned Roman Reigns. That stuff he was doing with the Balor thing, like I said, it could be nitpicking, but it just really kind of grinded me. I was like, oh, what are you doing? It's like when Randy Orton was doing the random splits and stuff, Just weird. It's like, what are you doing? 46 solid D rating in an extremely short matchup here. Razor of the Authors of Pain going over Titus O'Neil of Titus Worldwide in 4 minutes 30 seconds. Kind of a playoff from last week's match when Apollo Crews took on Akam and beat him. This time Razor getting the victory over O'Neil. So back and forth here. Razor with an in-ring performance of a 38, just 2 points below Titus O'Neil. Gaining heat for the feud between the two teams as well here. No worker improvements. Razor apparently better than Akam, it would seem. 65 solid C rating here as backstage we see Kevin Owens, Jinder Mahal, and Sunil Singh just kind of going over notes for the upcoming Kevin Owens show, which will host Jinder Mahal. 58 C- as we get hyped for Rollins and Reigns taking on Ziggler and McIntyre later on tonight. 73 B- as we hype up Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens with the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line for SummerSlam. 79 solid B rating. Wow, this did good. 79 solid B rating for the Kevin Owens show with Jinder Mahal. Owens credits Jinder for helping him calm down and pretty much putting him in the best mindset of his life right now with his healing and all that. Like, he thought it was pretty much just all bull and all that, but it really helped him out. He says another thing that they have in common is that they've both beaten Braun Strowman. Granted that Jinder Mahal won by countout and Kevin Owens won by steel cage, but a victory is still a victory. And a countout was one of the many ways that I really thought this was an interesting tie-in. I was like, that's good stuff. But a countout was many ways, or one of the many ways that Braun Strowman can lose at SummerSlam come the Money in the Bank briefcase. Or come their match for the Money in the Bank briefcase, I should say. During all this, the stage starts to kind of quake up and down, and eventually it is tipped over as Braun Strowman was apparently under it the whole time. I don't know how that got out of everyone's way. And he tips the stage over for with Kevin Owens, Jinder Mahal, and Sunil Singh on there. And he's pretty much ready for action right here. Kevin Owens was kind of egging Jinder Mahal on, like, come on, Braun, let's have another match, because Jinder can beat you again. And that's what led to this, of course. Coach was pretty weak on the announce table. Did deserve better announcing here. Strowman came across well, and it gained heat for the Kevin Owens-Braun Strowman feud. Since we gained heat, now we gotta lose heat, though. 59 solid C rating here in an extremely short match, as we have a bit of a rematch from last week. Jinder Mahal, 2 weeks in a row. Who would have thought? Jinder Mahal goes over Braun Strowman in 2 minutes, 17 seconds. This time by disqualification. Sunil Singh doing some good work ringside. Color commentary helping out the match. Strowman with an in-ring performance of a 75. Jinder Mahal with a 51. And, of course, losing heat for the Kevin Owens-Braun Strowman feud. Braun Strowman is improving in performance, though. So I guess that's good. But pretty much here, Kevin Owens was just trying to steal the Money in the Bank briefcase during the match. But Braun was on to him the entire time. And Owens gets up to the ramp, pretty far up the ramp at one point, until Braun catches him. He rips the briefcase away, and Jinder goes after Braun during all this. And during all that scuffle, Braun accidentally, or maybe it wasn't an accident, maybe he did do it. That's the glory of this angle. But he ends up hitting, or hitting Jinder Mahal in the gut with the briefcase, which led to the disqualification. And man, does this referee have eyes, because there's been times the referee can't hear a chair shot, but he can see the Braun Strowman hit Jinder Mahal with the briefcase, even though Mahal's back is to the referee. Like, I guess maybe he was watching the TV screen, but good stuff. Whatever. I already went over all this stuff, so 72 B- as afterwards, Braun Strowman chases Jinder Mahal off. And once again, Mahal is able to get away, and Sunil Singh suffers as Kevin Owens tosses the briefcase in the air when Braun was chasing him. So I guess I should have probably put Kevin Owens in here as well, but whatever. And might have gained some heat back to the feud too. Chases Kevin off as well. Kevin tosses the briefcase in the air, and Sunil Singh. I don't think Kevin Owens had the briefcase. I think Jinder Mahal had the briefcase in. Or maybe, I just know Sunil Singh caught the briefcase, or he got the briefcase some way, and like Braun Strowman just like punted him, like Sparta kicked him. It was ferocious. Nonetheless, 72 B- here. 61 solid C rating, as once again we get more hype for the Rollins and Reigns versus Ziggler and McIntyre match later on tonight. I guess I made this a major rated segment, so oops. Lost some heat for that feud there. That's unfortunate. 64 solid C rating, as Baron Corbin is on the phone, and he comes backstage and gives it to Kurt Angle. And we're not exactly sure what Stephanie told Kurt Angle to do, but she tells him to do something, and Kurt does it pretty much, or is going to do it, I should say. 75 B- as we hype up Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for SummerSlam. 63 solid C rating, as we get a look back at the feud with Brock Lesnar with Roman Reigns and Corey Graves. So little kind of a sit down interview here as we get a look back at Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar all the way back to when Seth Rollins cashed in the Money in the Bank, and Reigns saying how Brock didn't beat him then, but he did get him at this year's WrestleMania. I think it was this year's, right? But at the Greatest Royal Rumble, Roman beat him. Just pretty much a look back at the entire feud between the two. Corey Graves, very underwhelming here. That's unfortunate. And it lost some heat for the feud as well, which that's unfortunate as well. 70 C+, as Rollins and Reigns are heading towards the ring, ready for their upcoming match, when Kurt Angle and Corbin approach them. And that is when they both inform Roman Reigns that Stephanie McMahon does not want to sacrifice the SummerSlam main event. So Roman Reigns cannot be Seth Rollins' partner here tonight, because he's already been in action. He's already in a grueling match against the Constable, as he puts it over. And Roman's, he doesn't care, but Stephanie added the little stipulation that if Roman did go ahead and defy her orders, that he will, lose his championship opportunity. Seth says that he's got this. And there you have that. Roman gives a little bit of a cheap shot to Baron Corbin, which I thought was petty. Again, didn't really think that was fitting of Roman's character, but that's okay. He's very on and off with his character, I feel. That's what bothers me the most. I feel he doesn't know what he's trying to do. 62 solid C rating, as we hype up the SummerSlam bout between Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. And unfortunately, Rollins wasn't able to find a tag team partner in time. He didn't even go back to Tyler Breeze and say, "Hey, buddy, you trying to be my partner tonight?" So 63 solid C rating, as instead of having a tag team match, we have a 2-on-1 handicap match. Seth Rollins battling the team, going 1-on-2 against Ziggler and McIntyre. Decent matchup here. Ziggler and McIntyre go over Seth Rollins in 9 minutes 38 seconds after Dolph Ziggler defeats Seth Rollins, not with the zigzag, but with a super kick, because this is pretty back and forth action. In fact, Seth Rollins looked like he was about to win on it at some points, but the numbers game comes back and bites him in the arse, as we like to say, and stiff super kick catches Rollins off guard, and it's enough for the 3 count for the Intercontinental Champion to get the victory here. Probably one of the best handicap matches I've seen in a long time, by the way, so good on all 3 men here. Rollins with an in-ring performance of a 64. By the way, Rollins looked really strong in this match. I don't know if I made that a road agent report. Actually, I think I had to, because he wasn't too happy that he was losing this match, which is impressive to me. But Rollins with an in-ring performance of a 64, McIntyre with a 56, Dolph Ziggler with a 62. Ziggler is improving in performance, McIntyre is improving in flying of all things, Seth Rollins is improving in performance as well. So all three men are making improvements as well. Good stuff. 100 stars, we get our pointless commercial break featuring John Cena. Big break John as always. Not scheduled for SummerSlam as of right now. 63 solid C rating as the Heyman exclusive interview is hyped alongside Ronda Rousey's first match on Raw against Alicia Fox. 44 solid D rating as we get a little bit of a pre-promo before this match takes place, as the Revival cut a promo on the B team and say how they're gonna make them disappear. For some reason, the video I watched for Monday Night Raw, like the parts in between, because it was like part 1 and part 2 for this, they like cut off half the Revival promo, so I didn't really catch the full promo, which is unfortunate. But nonetheless, Revival, or excuse me, what am I talking about? We went ahead and added the Revival to the tag title feud here, and it lost heat for it as well, so that's unfortunate. No, we're fine. The B team, by the way, debuted a new team. They got like a Go B team. I got some New Japan Go Ace vibes from it, but I'm not saying it's a bad theme. It is a bad theme, but I'm not saying it's a bad theme for them, because it just, it fits the B team, but going from their previous theme to this, wow, what a drop. 47 solid D rating here in an extremely short matchup. The P team end up drawing with the Revival in 2 minutes 45 seconds after the match descended into chaos when Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt became involved. So during the match, the lights went out. We had the whole Bray Wyatt effect, and that is when the lights come back on, and instead of Curtis Axel being there to take the tag, it was Matt Hardy. Was it Matt Hardy? I don't know. Anyway, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt pretty much replaced both Curtis Axel and Dash Wilder here, while Bo Dallas and Scott Dawson were in the ring, and they got into the ring and started to attack both the men. Matt Hardy attacking Dawson and Bray Wyatt attacking Bo Dallas here. So there you have that. The DOW, Deletas of Worlds, getting some heat in there, I guess, per se. I don't know. Nonetheless, Axel's, none of the turns are going well here. If there are a turn, so far we don't know if it's going to happen or not. 51 rating for Curtis Axel. In fact, he was the best of the match. Bo Dallas with a 48, Dash Wilder with a 45, and Scott Dawson with a 46. Lost more heat for the Raw Tag Team title feud. Bo Dallas, though, is improving and flying, so good for him. Yes. 56 C- as afterwards the DOW continue the attack on both Dawson and Dallas. No Axel and Wilder, we don't know where they're at. So Bray Wyatt hitting Sister Abigail on Dallas, Matt Hardy hitting the Twist of Fate, I believe, on Scott Dawson. He might not have, I don't know. They really just hyped up the Sister Abigail more than anything. Matt Hardy, yeah, whatever. We know about those, but we're not sure if they're going to be happening or not. Gained some heat back to the feud, though, so good stuff there. 74 B- as we have the exclusive interview with Paul Heyman, which is next. Paul Heyman should not have been on screen, so that's my bad. And then our exclusive interview with Paul Heyman. Renee Young sits down with him to interview him about Brock Lesnar. 71 B- rating here. Paul Heyman is distraught in this interview. It looks like he's on the verge of tears. He talks about how he's heartbroken practically over Brock Lesnar doing what he did to him last week. He said that they spoke about, going off into the sunset pretty much together, as Brock being both the Universal and UFC world champion. He says pretty much that Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance, but the main premise here is that Paul Heyman is just heartbroken. Brock Lesnar was a friend to him, and he doesn't know what to think right now. Renee Young performed poorly in this segment. That's unfortunate for her, but honestly, she didn't bring it down all that much. 71 B-. Next week's going to be worrisome, though, or I guess this week's Raw, the one that just happened, because she's on commentary, and I'm sure she did great because she's a great color commentator, but I'm interested to see how she does it in the game. I might edit her thing. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that if she's not good. Oh, yeah, I'm glad I pulled this up. So let's do Ara Young. That way we don't think it's Eric Young. But we had a backstage incident. Triple H freaking tried to fight Lashley, and I mean tried, because even though he instigated it, he didn't end it. Bobby Lashley put him in his place. So I thought that was hilarious. 67. You know what? I skipped over that previous segment real quick there. So let me recap real quick the Paul Heyman thing, because a lot of people have been making a meme out of it, just wondering what it was. I thought it was great. I thought it was great acting on Paul Heyman's part. He looked literally distraught, like he didn't know what to talk about in this interview, and he thought, Renee was just really there mocking him. Nonetheless, moving on. 67 C+ as we get a recap of Braun Strowman flipping over the stage on the Kevin Owens show. 53 C- as we get some SummerSlam hype here. So there's going to be at least 3 segments here, I believe, for the SummerSlam hype. So the first segment, 53 C-, hyping up the Money in the Bank contract match between Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. The WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. The Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak match for the Cruiserweight Championship. And the Intercontinental Championship match between Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. SummerSlam hype number 2, we get the women's match between Carmella and Becky Lynch. Oh, and Charlotte Flair, I forgot she was added to it. The United States Championship match between Nakamura and Jeff Hardy. And then the Women's Championship match for Raw between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. 49 D+ there. And then I wasn't able to fit this in on a SummerSlam hype 2, and they didn't hype anything else afterwards. So Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar get their own segment. 77 solid B for the hype for their match at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. 48 D+ rating here as we have tag team action. The Riot Squad being represented by Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, taking on the Boss and Hug Connection, Sasha Banks and Bayley, the new tag team here. In a poor matchup, Morgan and Logan go over Boss and Hug Connection in 8 minutes, 22 seconds when Sarah Logan defeated Sasha Banks after a distraction from Ruby Riott. Riott also kind of attacking Bayley here, not really. So this match was a little bit weird, as in the beginning it seemed like there's a little bit of maybe rushing going on, or I don't know. It's just like, it just seemed like they were sloppy and missing some spots here. But the main highlight here is that Ruby Riott has returned. She's apparently been injured, but she has returned. She is back. And during the match, Bayley went to jump at Liv Morgan on the outside of the ring, and someone under a hood pulled Liv Morgan out of the way, and it turned out to be Ruby Riott. Sasha Banks, distracted by this, allowed Sarah Logan to roll her up for the victory as the Riot Squad not only get their leader back, but the win. Big win as well over Sasha Banks and Bayley. That's good stuff. Ignore the heel turns. In fact, I think I'm going to cancel these because I really doubt it's happening. I think this is a thing that's happening. Sarah Logan with an in-ring performance of a 39. Liv Morgan with an in-ring performance of a 35. Bayley with a 47. And Sasha Banks with the best of a 48. So Liv was the worst. Morgan, though, is improving in her performance, so good stuff. And yes. 67 C+ as we get a look back at pretty much what's led Ronda Rousey here to tonight, from her debut match at WrestleMania against Stephanie, to her match against Nia Jax, to her suspension, to last week. Pretty much everything. 67 C+ for Ronda Rousey. 45 solid D as Ronda Rousey exits the locker room. She's ready for action. Natty's there. They give each other a nod, and they start to make their way out towards the entryway, pretty much. 44 solid D as we get hyped for next week, as we're going to have a triple threat tag team title match, as the B team will defend their tag team championships against both the Delitas of Worlds and the Revival. 47 solid D as we hype up Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. And then 56 C- as before the match, Charlie Caruso gets into the ring and she interviews both Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss pretty much about Ronda Rousey. Bliss is not happy, like, oh really, we're going to talk about Ronda Rousey? Like, why not talk about a trailblazer like Alicia Fox, you know? Like, was Ronda Rousey the captain of Survivor Series, you know? Like, all this stuff is pretty much trying to put down Ronda Rousey until Ronda eventually interrupts them with her theme song and she makes her way down to the ring for her first match ever on Monday Night Raw. Charlie Caruso getting better at her gimmick. I guess that's good. She was very underwhelming here. She was rated. Renee Young and Charlie Caruso both rated here because they didn't just read off one line. They actually interacted and had more lines off to read. Ronda Rousey looked good, but apparently Natalya underperformed. Gained some heat for the Rousey-Bliss feud as well. And then here we have it, guys. Main event time. Ronda Rousey's first match ever on Monday Night Raw. Gets cut off by JoJo because we got to do introductions because despite there not being a championship on the line, this is a big moment. So JoJo introduces both Alicia Fox and Ronda Rousey, 55 C-, and here we have it. Now we have it. Ronda Rousey's first match ever on Monday Night Raw gets a 53 C- rating here, and an extremely short matchup. Ronda Rousey goes over Alicia Fox in 3 minutes 45 seconds by submission. Alexa Bliss and Natalya both kind of distracting Ronda Rousey, but it did no work. Alexa Bliss really trying to distract Rousey here to get Alicia, you know, the upper hand throughout the match. Natalya trying to get involved at one point, but Alexa Bliss pushing Natalya face first into the what would we call it? I forget. I'm having a little bit of a blank. The steel post. Into the steel post, which, like I said, distracted Ronda Rousey. That's why we have Natalya there. But it was not to be because Ronda Rousey, this just pretty much led to her being fired up, and she hulks up or rowdies up, if you want to say, and just pretty much destroys Alicia Fox from here on out. Like, she did a hip toss, and my God, it was ferocious. Like, I was like, she could have dislocated her arm. Alexa Bliss doing some good work ringside. Alicia Fox with an in-ring performance of a 36. Ronda Rousey with a 62. Definitely outperforming Alicia Fox here tonight. And she's still improving. Wow. Improving in performance. We end off the night with a solid 60 C as Charlie Caruso jumps into the ring to interview Ronda afterwards. During the interview, Alexa Bliss tries to attack Ronda Rousey. Ronda just tosses Bliss off her and goes on to tell Alexa Bliss that she can hold on to that title all she wants, but at SummerSlam, she's taking it from her. And she tossed the microphone down, and it looked like it almost was going to hit her in the face because it bounced up. But Natalya helping out Rousey during this segment, and it gained heat for the Rousey-Bliss feud as well. As we end off the show, we get ourselves a 79 solid B. How, Jim? How? I don't believe you. I don't understand. I'll take it, but how? Whatever. Increasing our popularity in 27 regions, so good stuff all around there. Wow. Good stuff. But I don't understand how. Nonetheless, though, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't done already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. And I'll see you guys in the next video for SmackDown Live and 205 Live. So, until then, don't forget to... Oh my God, this is my own ending and I'm messing it up. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and share it with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I don't give a dams. Help out the channel. Share it to someone you feel would enjoy the content. And that's it. Apparently, I don't know my own outro anymore, so I'll see you guys later. Have a good